Ladies and gentlemen, stop what you're doing because we've got breaking news out of Pittsburgh that is going to shake up the NFL landscape in a massive way. The rumors are no more. This is official. The Pittsburgh Steelers have signed quarterback Russell Wilson. That's right. Russell freaking Wilson is heading to the Steel City. This move has been buzzing in the background for a while, but now it's real. It's done. And Steelers Nation is going absolutely wild. I mean, this is one of the biggest quarterback moves in recent Steelers history, and the implications, both short-term and long-term, are absolutely massive. Now, take a moment and think about where we were just a few months ago. The Steelers were dealing with quarterback uncertainty, a frustrating offensive identity crisis, and an inconsistent Kenny Pickett leading the charge. There were flashes of promise, sure, but it was clear to fans, coaches, and even analysts around the league that Pittsburgh needed a steady, proven hand under center. They needed leadership. They needed experience. They needed someone who's been to the mountaintop. And what did they do? They went out and got a Super Bowl champion, a 9-time Pro Bowler, a quarterback with over a decade of playoff experience. They went out and got Russell Wilson. This is a guy who's played in 2 Super Bowls, who led one of the most dominant teams of the last decade, and who still believes, wholeheartedly, that he has something left in the tank. And let's be real. A fresh start might be exactly what Russ needs. His time in Denver didn't go the way anyone hoped. That Broncos experiment? It fell flat. The offense never clicked, the coaching carousel didn't help, and the pressure of that huge contract weighed everything down. But now, oh now, Russell Wilson gets to hit the reset button. And not just anywhere, in Pittsburgh. With Mike Tomlin, with a team known for culture, resilience, and smash-mouth football. If there's a place for Russell Wilson to write his redemption story, this is it. What makes this deal even crazier is how little it's costing the Steelers. And that's what has so many fans celebrating this as a masterstroke by the front office. While the Broncos are eating a massive chunk of Wilson's previous contract, and we're talking tens of millions in dead cap, the Steelers swoop in and sign Russ for a veteran's minimum. That's right. Pennies on the dollar for a player with Wilson's resume. This isn't just a potential upgrade at quarterback. It's a low-risk, high-reward situation that leaves the Steelers with maximum financial flexibility heading into the rest of the offseason. It's one of the smartest, most strategic moves we've seen from Pittsburgh's front office in years. And let's talk about that fit. This isn't just about stats or name recognition. It's about leadership. It's about culture. Russell Wilson has always been known as a relentless worker, a guy who brings positivity, intensity, and a no-excuses mindset to the locker room. And let's be real. Mike Tomlin is the type of coach who thrives with a player like that. The two of them together? That's leadership on leadership. That's experience multiplied. That's a locker room that suddenly has a very clear identity. We're here to win. Not someday. Now. Steelers fans, we're not talking about some experimental backup or a developmental project. We're talking about a quarterback who's thrown for over 40,000 yards in his career. A guy who's orchestrated game-winning drives and playoff pressure. A guy who's faced the best and beaten the best. Sure, he's not the same young dual-threat superstar who lit the league on fire in Seattle, but he's still mobile, still accurate, and still a threat to make big-time plays in crunch time. He's a veteran who understands defenses, who can manage a game intelligently, and who still has enough juice to make a difference when it counts. And if you're wondering how Steelers fans feel about this move, just look online. The reaction has been electric. Terrible towels are flying high. Social media is flooded with Wilson jerseys already edited in black and gold. Steelers Nation is buzzing with excitement. And you know what? Rightfully so. After a couple of seasons of inconsistency, uncertainty, and underwhelming offense, this move feels like a jolt of energy. It feels like the beginning of something new, something serious, something that puts the AFC North, and maybe even the entire league, on notice. But of course, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. What does this mean for the rest of the quarterback room? What does this mean for the guy who was supposed to be the future, Kenny Pickett? Well, we've already seen signs that things are shifting. The minute Wilson signed, there were reports of frustration from Pickett's camp. He reportedly skipped a team workout. Then, boom, he was traded to the Eagles shortly after. That tells you everything. The Steelers are going all in on this move, and they're reshaping the QB room around it. Now, with Russell Wilson in the building, the expectation is clear. Win football games, make the playoffs, make a run. This is not a rebuild. This is a reload. And with a defense that's already elite, with players like TJ Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Cam Hayward leading the way, all the Steelers needed was a competent, confident quarterback to tie it all together. And they might just have that now. The offensive weapons around Russ aren't elite, but they're solid. Najee Harris in the backfield gives you a power run game. George Pickens is a rising star at wide receiver, big, physical, and explosive. Pat Freiermuth is a reliable option at tight end. And if the offensive line holds up, you better believe Wilson will have the tools he needs to operate efficiently. If the Steelers can keep him upright and allow him to run the offense on his terms, with quick reads, rollout passes, and designed movement, then we might be looking at a very different Steelers team come week 1. Now let's talk expectations. Let's talk ceiling. Could this be a 10-win team again? Absolutely. Could this be a division title contender? If things click early, yes. Could this team actually make a deep playoff run? That's where the Russ factor comes in. Because if there's one thing we've seen from Wilson throughout his career, it's that when he gets hot, he can carry a team. And if this new environment, this change of scenery, unlocks that competitive fire again, then look out. The AFC is stacked, no doubt, but the Steelers with Wilson are not to be underestimated. And you know what's fascinating? This is the kind of move that energizes not just a team, but a city. Pittsburgh is a football town. It breathes Steelers football. And for a while now, that energy has been kind of muted, not gone, but dulled. This signing? It changes the narrative. It gives people a reason to believe again, a reason to buy tickets, a reason to tune in, a reason to wear the black and gold with even more pride than usual. But, real talk now, this is also a move that comes with pressure. The margin for error is thin. If Wilson doesn't perform, the questions will come fast and furious. Was it the right move? Did they pull the plug on Pickett too soon? Is Wilson done? All of those narratives are lurking just beneath the surface, and Russell knows it, which means he's going to come in motivated, he's going to come in focused, he's going to come in with something to prove, and that, more than anything else, might be the key. So what happens next? Training camp is going to be a spectacle. Wilson will be under the microscope. Every pass, every rep, every media soundbite, it'll all be dissected. But that's what comes with the territory. That's what happens when you're a former Super Bowl winner trying to reclaim your crown. It's going to be must-watch football. And if you're a Steelers fan, enjoy this moment. Because in a league where quarterback uncertainty is the rule, not the exception, you now have a veteran presence who's been there, done that, and still wants more. That's rare. That's exciting. That's worth celebrating. So there you have it, folks. The deal is done. Russell Wilson is a Pittsburgh Steeler. The terrible towels are twirling. The fans are fired up. The AFC North just got a whole lot more interesting. And the 2025 NFL season? It can't come soon enough. Let me know in the comments, do you think this is the right move? Will Wilson thrive in Pittsburgh? Is this a one-year fix or the beginning of something bigger? Smash that like button if you're hyped for the season ahead. Subscribe to the channel for all the updates, breakdowns, and hot takes. And as always, thank you for watching. Steelers Nation, your team just made a statement. Let's ride.